You know that feeling when you walk into your home and your shoulders drop just a little? Not because anything is wrong, but because something finally feels right. For years, I carried more than I needed. Not just in my hands, but in my home, in my routines, in the quiet corners of my day. I didn't realize how much weight I was holding until I learned to set it down. And I didn't learn this from a book or a seminar. I learned it from watching how some people move through life with less effort, less clutter, less noise. They don't rush, they don't hoard, they don't fill every space just because it's empty. There's a way of living that asks very little and gives back so much. It comes from a place where simplicity isn't about giving things up, it's about keeping only what serves you. Where lightness isn't about being careless, it's about being intentional. Today I want to share 8 quiet principles that changed how I live. They're not rules, they're not strict. They're gentle reminders that a simpler life is already waiting for you underneath all the things you've been carrying. If you stay with me until the end, I'll show you how these small shifts can make your home feel like a place that holds you instead of a place that demands from you. Let's begin. Tip 1. Keep only what you use. This is the first and most important principle. It sounds simple, but it changes everything. We hold on to so many things because we think we might need them one day. The sweater we haven't worn in 5 years, the kitchen tool we used once, the stack of papers we're not sure about, and all of it sits there, quietly taking up space. Not just in our closets, but in our minds. When you keep only what you actually use, your home becomes easier to care for. You're not moving things around just to clean beneath them. You're not looking past 10 things to find the one thing you need. Everything has a reason to be there. Everything earns its place. This doesn't mean throwing everything away. It means being honest. If you haven't touched it in a year, if it doesn't serve a clear purpose in your life right now, it's okay to let it go. You're not being wasteful. You're being kind to yourself. Start with one drawer, one shelf, one corner. Look at what's there and ask, do I use this? Not might I use this someday, just do I use this now? If the answer is no, thank it quietly and move it along. You'll notice something right away. The space feels lighter, your mind feels clearer. You're no longer carrying the weight of all those maybes. And that small feeling of relief, that's the beginning of a simpler life. Tip 2. Give everything a home. When something doesn't have a place, it wanders. It ends up on the counter, on the table, on the chair. And slowly, without meaning to, your home starts to feel cluttered even if you don't have that much. This principle is about ending that wandering. Every item in your home should have one clear place where it lives. The scissors go in the drawer by the window. The keys hang by the door. The blanket folds over the arm of the sofa. When you use something, you bring it back to that place. Not later, not tomorrow, right away. This sounds like a small thing, but it removes so much decision-making from your day. You're not searching. You're not guessing. You know exactly where things are because they're always in the same spot. And when everything has a home, putting things away stops feeling like a chore. It becomes a rhythm, a natural end to the task. You finish your tea, you rinse the cup, you place it back in the cupboard. Done. No pile, no mess left behind. If something doesn't have a clear home yet, give it one today. Choose a spot that makes sense, a spot you'll actually use, and then honor that spot. Teach yourself to return things there gently every time. Over time, this becomes automatic. Your home starts to take care of itself just because you've made space for order to exist without effort. Tip 3. Clean a little. Often you don't need to spend hours cleaning your home. You just need to spend a few minutes regularly. This is one of the most freeing ideas I've ever learned. We think cleaning means setting aside half a day, putting on old clothes and scrubbing everything at once. And because that feels so big, we put it off. We wait until the mess builds, until it feels overwhelming. But there's another way. Clean a little every day. Wipe the counter after breakfast, sweep the floor before bed, put the dishes away as soon as they're dry. These small actions take almost no time, but they keep your home from ever getting out of control. When you clean a little, often nothing ever piles up. There's no big mess waiting for you, no guilt sitting in the corner. Just a home that stays calm because you've been tending to it, quietly all along. This isn't about being perfect. Some days you'll forget. Some days you'll be too tired. That's okay. The point is to make caring for your space so small and so regular that it doesn't feel like work anymore. It just feels like living. Try it for 1 week. Every time you finish something, take 30 seconds to tidy the space around it. Close the drawer, fold the towel, put the book back. You'll be surprised how much lighter everything feels when nothing is ever left undone for long. If this content is helping you so far, take a moment to subscribe to the channel and activate the notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And tell me in the comments where you are watching from. I love knowing where this message is reaching. Your comment helps this community grow. Tip 4. Let empty space exist. We have a habit of filling things up. If there's space on the shelf, we put something there. If there's room on the wall, we hang something. If there's an empty corner, we buy something to fill it. But empty space is not wasted space. Empty space is rest. It's calm. It's room for your eyes and your mind to settle. When every surface is covered, when every wall is full, your home starts to feel busy. Even if everything is organized, it still asks something of you. It still pulls at your attention. But when you leave space open, your home becomes quieter. It becomes a place where you can breathe. This doesn't mean your home has to be bare. It just means you don't have to fill every inch. You can have a table with nothing on it, a wall with just one picture, a shelf with only a few things you truly love. When you let empty space exist, the things you do keep become more important. They stand out, they mean something, and your home stops feeling like a storage room and starts feeling like a sanctuary. Look around your space today. Is there somewhere you could remove something? Not because it's bad, but just to see what happens when there's room to rest. Try it. Let the space breathe. Let yourself feel the difference. Tip 5. Touch things. Once. This is a small rule that saves so much time. When you pick something up, finish with it. Don't set the mail down on the counter to deal with later. Open it, handle it, put it where it goes. Don't take off your coat and drape it over the chair. Hang it up. Don't pull out the ingredients for dinner and leave them scattered. Use them, then put them back. Touch things once. Handle them completely, and then let them be done. This sounds almost too simple to matter, but it's one of the most powerful habits I've ever built. Because when you touch things twice or 3 times or 5 times, you're doing the same task over and over without finishing it. You're carrying little bits of undone work with you all day. But when you handle something fully the first time, it's finished. It's not waiting for you. It's not sitting in the back of your mind. You're free. This takes practice. At first, you'll catch yourself setting things down, planning to deal with them later. That's okay, just notice it. And next time, try finishing it right then. Open the drawer, put it away, close the drawer, done. Over time, this becomes your new rhythm, and you'll feel the difference. Your home stays calmer, your to-do list stays shorter, and you're not carrying around all those little half-finished tasks anymore. Tip 6. Choose quality over quantity. It's better to have 3 things that work beautifully than 10 things that barely work at all. We live in a world that teaches us to have more. More choices, more backups, more options. But more doesn't make life easier. It makes it heavier. When you choose quality, you're choosing things that last, things that feel good to use. Things you don't have to replace or repair or work around. You're choosing less but better. This applies to everything: clothes, dishes, furniture, tools, even the food you bring into your home. A well-made pot that you use every day is worth more than 5 pots you never reach for. A sweater that fits well and feels soft is worth more than a closet full of things that don't quite feel right. Quality doesn't mean expensive. It means thoughtful. It means choosing with care. It means asking, will this serve me well, instead of, is this a good deal? When you fill your home with fewer things of better quality, everything becomes easier. You're not sorting through clutter. You're not replacing things that break. You're just living surrounded by things that work, that last, and that make your day a little smoother. Next time you need something, pause. Don't buy the first thing you see. Don't buy the cheapest option just because it's cheap. Ask yourself what will truly serve you, and choose that. Tip 7. Create simple routines. Routines are not about control. They're about ease. When you do the same small things at the same time each day, you stop having to think about them. They become gentle anchors in your day. They create a rhythm that holds you, especially on the days when everything else feels uncertain. A simple morning routine. A simple evening routine. That's all you need. Maybe in the morning you make your bed, open the curtains and make a cup of tea. Maybe in the evening you wash the dishes, wipe the counter, and set out tomorrow's clothes. These don't have to be long. They don't have to be perfect. They just have to be yours. When you have a routine, you're not starting from scratch every day. You're not deciding what to do first or what needs attention. You already know. And that small bit of structure makes everything else feel lighter. Routines also protect your energy. They help you care for your home without thinking about it. They turn daily tasks into something automatic, something that just happens, so you can save your focus for the things that truly matter. Start with one routine, just one. Morning or evening. Keep it short, keep it simple, and practice it until it feels like part of you. Once it does, you'll understand why routines are not restrictions. They're freedom. Tip 8. Be grateful for what you have. This last principle might sound soft, but it's the one that changes everything. When you look at your home with gratitude, you stop wanting more. You stop comparing. You stop thinking about what's missing. You start seeing what's already there. The table that holds your meals, the chair that supports you, the window that lets in light. These are not small things. They are gifts. Gratitude shifts how you see your space. Instead of focusing on what's worn or old or imperfect, you notice what works, what serves you, what's been faithful to you day after day. And when you're grateful, you take better care of things. You don't treat them carelessly. You don't leave them neglected. You honor them by keeping them clean, by using them well, by not replacing them just because something shinier exists. This doesn't mean you can't improve your home. It just means you start from a place of appreciation, not lack. And that makes all the difference. Every evening, before you turn off the light, look around. Notice one thing you're grateful for. Just one. The blanket, the lamp, the quiet. Say it softly, even just in your mind. Let that gratitude settle in your chest. Over time, this practice will change how you live. You'll find yourself wanting less and appreciating more. And that is the heart of a simpler, lighter life. A simpler life doesn't require a big change. It doesn't ask you to give up what you love or live with less than you need. It just asks you to be intentional, to choose with care, to let go of what no longer serves you and keep close what does. These 8 principles are not rules. They're invitations. Invitations to live with more space, more ease, and more peace. You don't have to do all of them at once. You don't have to do them perfectly. Just choose one. Try it. See how it feels. And remember, it's never too late to start living more lightly. Your home can become a place that supports you, that comforts you, that asks very little and gives so much. All it takes is small steps, taken with intention. Which of these ideas felt familiar to you? Did any of these habits remind you of something you already do or something you'd like to try? I'd love to hear from you in the comments. If this video brought you some calm today, please subscribe and activate the notifications so we can continue this journey together. Your presence here matters. Before we finish, let me share something with you. If you want to keep your home truly clean, organized, and pleasant without effort or excess, I've prepared a complete guide with simple recipes, a gentle weekly routine, and methods that help everything feel lighter. The link is in the first pinned comment. Now take what spoke to your heart today and try it calmly at your own pace.